Our next topic is about earthquakes. So earthquakes are measured by a logarithmic scale called the Richter scale. And our formula is r is equal to log of I, where r is equal to the magnitude of the earthquake on the Richter scale, and I is the intensity of its shock wave. So we have the Richter scale right here, and I provided some examples. So let's look at a magnitude 3.0 earthquake. If I plug in the 3 into our formula, it's 3 is equal to log of I. And if I wanted to figure out what the I is, or what the intensity of this earthquake is, I can transform it into its equivalent exponential form, like we've been doing in this section. So I is equal to 10 to the 3, and 10 to the 3 is equal to 1,000. So it's going to have an intensity of 1,000. And we can do the same thing with the other magnitudes. So a magnitude 4 earthquake will have an intensity of 10 raised to the 4, or 10,000. A magnitude 6 earthquake is going to have an intensity of 10 to the 6, or 1 million. A magnitude of 6.5 is going to have an intensity of, if I take 10 and raise it to the 6.5, I get 316.2277.66. And then lastly, we have a magnitude 9.5, which is one of the biggest ones that we can have on Earth. And that has an intensity of this. So the reason why we can't get much bigger is because of the size of the Earth. So we're not going to really ever have like a 10 or 10.1 because the Earth is not big enough. So it can't store that much energy. So maybe on a planet that's bigger than the Earth, they could have larger magnitudes of earthquakes. But a 9.5, 9.6, that's about as big as we've recorded on Earth. Compare the intensity of an earthquake that measures 4.0 on the Richter scale to an earthquake that measures 3.0 on the Richter scale. So to do this, I want to divide the intensities. So I want to divide the intensity of the 4.0 by the intensity of 3.0. And we've already figured out what those intensities were. So I just need to divide them now. So 10,000 divided by 1,000 is going to give you 10. And what that means is the intensity of the 4.0 earthquake was 10 times the intensity of the 3.0 earthquake. So what that means is it would take 10 3.0 earthquakes to make just one 4.0 earthquake. Compare the intensity of an earthquake that measures 6.5 on the Richter scale to an earthquake that measures 6.0 on the Richter scale. And we want to divide the intensities, and we figured out what the intensities were. So if I just divide those, and I want to type those in. And I'm going to round to 2 decimal places. So 3.16. So what that means is the intensity of the 6.5 earthquake was 3.16 times the intensity of the 6.0 earthquake, which means that it would take approximately 3 6.0 earthquakes to make just one 6.5 earthquake. So even though they're pretty close on the Richter scale, 6.0 and 6.5, the 6.5 is a lot bigger than the 6.0. You would have to have 3 6.0s to make just one 6.5.